What is up, Broncos Country? It's Cy, your boy from Hawaii, lifelong Broncos fan. Cannot wait to dive into some of the stuff we got to talk about today. Of course, we're going to discuss ESPN slams Bo Nix again. Again, the national media just proves how clueless they are and how much they truly just hate Bo Nix because he's successful. And before he was drafted, nobody predicted he would be successful. So they continue to hold that against our quarterback. We're going to talk about Dan Orlovsky and his analysis of Bo Nix tape. I'm going to explain to you why that's even biased there. And Dan Orlovsky is somebody who has defended us a little bit here and there recently, but we know what it is, Broncos Country. They hate us. They hate us because they ain't us, and it's okay because we're going to shut them all up come February. We're going to talk about Jalen Waddle and some of the stuff that Davis Webb, our new OC, who just took, well, not new OC, but he's calling plays now, which is pretty damn new. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that Davis Webb alluded to on how they're going to use Jalen Waddle. We're going to talk about Marvin Mims and how good he looks and how underrated as a whole that this wide receiver room is. We're going to talk a little bit about the Broncos signing a new UFL player in Ron Stone. So we're going to show you just a little bit of what he can do, give you a little bit of his background, right? And then we're also going to end this with some shade to some other teams that we're not fond of here in Broncos Country. You're not going to want to miss today's episode, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to cue the intro and we're going to get right into the good stuff. Alrighty, so we are going to start off. We're going to start with Nik Wright, who is just beloved here in Broncos Country. The dude is the biggest Chiefs homer that I think I have ever heard become an actual analyst, right? We use that term so loosely nowadays. They're supposed to be unbiased, but they are probably some of the most biased people out there. And unfortunately, not that we should care, Broncos Country. Of course, we don't care, because we know what we have. But unfortunately, they have targeted Bo Nix. And for whatever reason, they have decided that they will just never, ever give Bo Nix the credit that he deserves. So we are going to jump right in to why I am going to absolutely put Nik Wright and Dan Orlovsky on blast. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we are going to start here. The offseason talk about Bo Nix's compromised ankle, right? We have probably heard it ad nauseum at this point, and I know us in Broncos Country are sick and tired of hearing about it, and there's probably nothing Bo Nix can do to shut the haters up and just have them move on from this ankle story that's really a non-story, right? But if you remember, Nik Wright, our good old buddy Nik Wright, he guaranteed that the Kansas City Chiefs would walk into September 14th, which is game one of the NFL season for the Broncos, and they are going into Arrowhead. I will talk about, well, we call it Arrowhead, but it's like Yeehaw or whatever the hell it is now. You know what I mean. But we are going into Kansas City week one, and I would love to get that out of the way early. I think that is actually a positive that we catch the Chiefs early. We just need to make sure we come out of the gates, firing on all cylinders. But Nik Wright says he guarantees the Chiefs will walk into September 14th with the quarterback health advantage. Yes. So Bo Nix looked fully mobile. He was throwing darts all over the place, but somehow, Patrick Mahomes is going to be more healthy than Bo Nix will be, according to Nik Wright, who's an absolute clown. And we know that here in Broncos Country. And of course, for those that are unfamiliar or don't remember, this is how Patrick Mahomes' training camp got off to a start, right? So he takes the snap here. There's no defense rushing at all. They're simulating a possible rush, but they're not actually rushing. No pressure, right to the back of the center's head, right? So that's how Patrick Mahomes' training camp has gone so far. Let's look at it again, just in case, you guys want to shade any of those Kansas City Chiefs fans that, may live around you, or that Mr. Greatest baby goat, or whatever they like to call him, right to the back of the center's head. One of the most ridiculous things I think I've ever seen. So I don't know what Nick Wright's talking about. I don't know where he gets off, but hey, man, it wouldn't be the first time that we proved Mr. Nick Wright wrong. Now we're going to get into this Dan Orlovsky film analysis, right, that he was doing on Bo Nix, and that I'm sure you might have seen this going around because he's not the only one that talked about this, right? But we're going to get into this. So he's going over Bo Nix's footwork, right? And they're basically trying to lie to you and tell you that Bo Nix has awful footwork. If you look here, his footwork is fine. He has a clean pocket. I want you to remember that and focus on that. Bo Nix has a clean pocket right here. So what does that do? That allows him to just completely fire a dart to Jalen Waddle. Now, some people were saying the ball was underthrown here. The safety, if you look from the other angle, the safety is getting ready to absolutely blast Jalen Waddle. So instead of throwing a hospital ball to Jalen Waddle, he throws it a little bit short so Jalen Waddle can catch it, turn and look, and make a move on the safety. So that's actually a really good throw for a multitude of reasons. Now, this is the play that Dan Orlovsky was showing, that he was basically saying Bo Nix's footwork is bad, right? So we're going to take a look at this. He's talking about man versus zone coverage, right? But this is where he fails to take certain things into account of his analysis. So remember how I told you, I want you to remember in that last clip that Bo Nix was operating out of a clean pocket, right? Look at this one. Let's take a look at this clip here. So Bo Nix, he's just now here at the end of his drop right there. And he's already having to get flushed out of the pocket, chat. And does Dan Orlovsky make note of that? Does he mention how Bo Nix was under duress and he was forced to flush to his right? No, of course not. He doesn't mention that at all. But I don't understand how you're watching this and you saw how clean the pocket was in the first clip. Look at this. So he just hit the end of his drop. This guy's already getting through. This guy's already almost in Bo's lap. He's already having to maneuver and get flushed to his right. So the fact that he got flushed to his right and still was able to deliver it was actually not a terrible throw. And he actually still gave Courtland Sutton a chance to catch that ball. So this is just another example, guys, of how the national media hates Denver. They hate the Broncos. They hate Bo Nix. I don't know what we did to them, but I honestly don't care. They can kick rocks. We will be successful this season in 2026 with or without the media. All right. So we are going to, take everything that these clowns say with a grain of salt. Now we are going to move on to more exciting things, right? We are going to talk about Jalen Waddle. Offensive coordinator Davis Webb was commenting on Jalen Waddle's role this year with the Broncos, and he said he's going to play everywhere. He's going to play every position except offensive line. When you have a weapon like Jalen Waddle, you want to get the ball into his hands regardless. So I guarantee you, we're going to be seeing handoffs to Jalen Waddle. We're going to be seeing screen passes to Jalen Waddle. Get the ball in his hands. He's an electric playmaker, and I can't wait to see what he does in this Sean Payton, Davis Webb led offense. And then if you don't believe me, just look at the route running here from Jalen Waddle. The quickness, like, it is unbelievable, man. Look at this. It's been a long time since we've had somebody that can move like that in route running, in just yards after catch, the stuff he can do after he catches the football. Guys, the Denver Broncos are going to be so dangerous, and the media can say whatever they want, but the fact is everybody should look at us as a matchup on their calendar, right? Because for so many years, it felt like we would match up against good teams, and we would be like, oh man, yeah, we're not winning that. Well, the shoe's on the other foot now, Broncos country. We are that matchup for other fans. They see us on their schedule, and they're like, oh, geez. Oh man, that's probably an L. That's us now. So take pride in that. And we only got better this offseason. So then we are going to look at here. This is another Jalen Waddle highlight from practice. Bo Nix throwing darts, Jalen Waddle being able to stop on a dime and turn upfield. Awesome. Love to see it. And just in case you were wondering, well, I know we have Cortland Sutton and I know we got Jalen Waddle, right? But what about the other three guys? Well, obviously, we know what Pat Bryant has done this offseason. Pat Bryant is emerging massively as quite possibly our wide receiver 3, and that is a dangerous 3 wide receivers. But don't forget about, there's a guy I don't want you to forget about, and that is Marvin Mims. Look at Marvin Mims here. Look at this catch. What a catch. It's an absolute laser by Bo Nix. But look at that catch, man. He jumps up, goes and snags the football, gets both feet down. Beautiful by Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims has actually lit it up in training camp and practices so far. Here's another one. This is another just example of the connection that Bo Nix and Marvin Mims have, right? Marvin Mims is doing a little in route and Bo Nix puts it right on the money where it needs to be. Marvin Mims, look at the steps here. Awesome footwork on the route. Marvin Mims, I'm expecting Marvin Mims is going to go all out this year. He wants another contract. So you know he's going to put his best foot forward, and I cannot wait to see what this receiver room turns into this season. I think it's the expectations that we have of them being good. I think even those expectations are going to be blown out of the water. Then we're going to look at here. So the Broncos have waived wide receiver Hakeem Butler, and they signed outside linebacker Rob Stone Jr. So Rob Stone Jr., for those that are unfamiliar, is a pass rush expert, right? He literally is a get after the quarterback guy. He is strictly a rusher. He played in the UFL recently. He went to college. He played for Washington. He had 6 sacks, I believe, in his last year at Washington. And then this past year in the UFL, he had 7 sacks, I believe it was. So this is him here on the edge here. So he's going to beat the tackle and obviously just gets straight to the quarterback. So you can, they say you can never have enough rushers, man. And we'll see. Vance Joseph said he is going to play a ton in this upcoming preseason game, which, by the way, I am doing a live watch along right here on youtube.com. So join me for that one. But he will play a lot in this preseason game, and maybe he'll have a legitimate chance to work his way onto the team. I don't know. But this tells me maybe they're just trying to be prepared just in case something comes of the Jonathan Cooper situation. Of course, we don't know yet, but we have seen players get up to like 6, 7, 8 weeks suspension for similar things. So if Jonathan Cooper does get suspended or what have you, you can never have enough pass rushing depth. And that's exactly what this move is about. And I think it's actually a smart move. Hakeem Butler was not really going to pan out anyway. I know we were all kind of excited about it, but just look at his performance in preseason, man. It was nothing special. So move on and let's try to add depth somewhere else. I love this move. And we'll see if Mr. Ron Stone Jr. can work his way onto the team. And I am going to end here, guys. So the New England Patriots fan base, I'm sure you've heard it. The New England Patriots fan base has tried to make the claim that Christian Gonzalez is a better cornerback than Pat Surtain, which blows my mind. Like, dude, if it was reversed and PS2 was on their team and we had Gonzalez, I wouldn't even be trying to make the argument because that's how good PS2 is. Okay? He's the best corner in the game and it's not close. This is not just some, Joe Schmo acknowledging that same fact that Broncos Country is already aware of. No, this is the Patriots' own offensive coordinator that is acknowledging that Pat Surtain is the best corner in the game. Mike McDaniels. Is it? Yes. No. I don't remember his name. Why am I brain farting on his name? He used to be our head coach and he sucked. He was terrible at it. Yes, but McDaniels is their offensive coordinator. And he even said to Pat Surtain, I have seen every corner in this league, and you are the best corner in this league. Here we go.
Appreciate you, bro.
You're the best one in the league.
Thank you.
All right, I've seen them
that.
all, and I'm just telling you right now, you're the best one.
I appreciate
So there you have it, man. Pats fans, I know it's tough for you guys to take an L, but you need to realize two things, Patriots fans. Number one, your offensive coordinator even acknowledged that Pat Surtain is the best corner in the league. And number two, you need to acknowledge that if Bo Nix was healthy in that AFC Championship game, you wouldn't even have sniffed a Super Bowl. Okay? Time to acknowledge that. And it should have been us because we would have put on a better performance anyway. So, what a joke. Josh McDaniels he's right. And I never thought I would say those words, but he is absolutely right. Pat Surtain II is the best corner in the NFL, bar none, and it's not even really close. There you have it, Broncos country. I just wanted to go over some of those quick points of note with you. The national media can hate on us. They can hate on Bo Nix all they want. But the fact of the matter is we are not satisfied with making it to January. We are not satisfied with, almost making the dance last year. We want to play in February, and this team is hungry. This team is fired up to do so, and Bo Nix is itching to shut the haters up, and I cannot wait to see it, and we should all be excited. And all of this, the media hate, the, constantly, Chiefs glaze that we keep seeing, it's okay, Broncos country, because deep down, we know the truth. We know that at the end of the day, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, they're all going to be looking at us as we, keep going on the march to February, and we can all mile high salute to that. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. Like this video, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Daily Broncos, Nuggets, Avs, Colorado Rockies content. Obviously, right now, we're just basically covering the Broncos because football is king and football is back. But as we progress, we will cover the Broncos, the Avs, the Nuggets, the Rockies. We're going to talk about it all. Not like there's a lot to talk about the Rockies anyway, but we'll try. Right? We'll try. So if you love Denver sports, if you're a fan of the Broncos, the Colorado Avalanche, the Denver Nuggets, or the Colorado Rockies, you're a fan of any of those four, subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the channel, and we're going to go over all of them in this upcoming season, and I cannot wait. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.